Hi everyone, Tori here with another scrapbooking process video. This one is called Note to Self, and this is actually the very last page of my Bolivia mission trip album. So tomorrow, check back because I will have an album walkthrough where I'm going to show you all of the Project Life pages, scrapbook pages, and inserts that I made. So when we returned from our mission trip, we had to speak at our church and share about our trip. So that paper that I showed you with all the typing at the beginning was the speech that I had given, and I wanted to use some of the text from that speech for the journaling on this page. And this page is going to be all about the journaling, so there will be a lot of it, way more than I normally do, but I'm really happy. I love the way that this layout works out, and the journaling is like part of the design of the page. So I grabbed this pink paper that came from the Dear Lizzie Fine and Dandy paper pad, and it's like pink, but it's like a light pink. It's so beautiful. I love it. And then I had this black and white matte paper from Studio Calico from a few months ago, and I wanted to use that on the paper as well. So I decided to just cut out North America and South America because that's all I really needed for what I wanted to do. And I glued that to the left-hand side, and then my journaling will be on the right-hand side of the page. I'm just using my hot glue gun to glue that all down. Now, I had 3 copies of that black and white paper, and I used one of them already, actually 2 of them already, I think. And so this was the 3rd one, and you'll see the title page tomorrow in the walkthrough also uses that black and white paper as well. So I love that the beginning of the album has this paper and then the end of it as well. Now I had this one photo that I had taken from when we were at the airport. One of the moms of somebody on the trip had made the sign. It said, "Welcome home, Eastridge Bolivia team." And I mean, the colors are horrible. Like, it doesn't look great on the layout, but I really wanted to use this page, and I love the sign. It was really sweet that they made a sign. So I printed that photo, and I'm matting it on some of that black paper from that paper. I knew that I wasn't going to use the Europe part, so I was like, I'll just use this black part. And then I inked the edges of that. And I had also inked the edges of the paper just to help it look consistent, because I remember throughout the album I've inked edges and things like that. And I stuck that photo to the bottom right-hand corner. This paper had this really cute branding strip that was pink with white like diagonal lines, and I thought I really want to use this on the page. So I trimmed that off. I left a little bit of the black paper attached to it because I thought it might add some contrast. And I'm going to end up gluing that to the top of the page. I'm really bad at making things straight though, so I do rip it up a little bit to glue it back down because it was, for some reason, it did not look straight to me, but it works out. It looks good in the end. And I glued that across, and then I'm just going to trim off the excess. And so right now the page looks really discombobulated. Ooh, isn't that a good word for today? Or disconnected. But then when all the journaling goes down, I think it looks more purposeful on the page. Now, one of the Dear Lizzie Fine and Dandy papers had all of these like banners with words on them, and I grabbed one of those papers, and the other day I cut out all those banners. Now this one said "Regret Nothing," and it was the same color pink as that branding strip, so I wanted to use it there at the top, and I glued that down. Now I'm going to use my ruler and a pencil to draw lines for my journaling, and I'm using the grid glass mat that I'm scrapbooking on to help me put a pencil line about every 1/4 inch. Now, I normally speed up the journaling, but I'm not going to today, so hopefully it's not that painful. The reason I'm not going to is because I want to read you word for word what I journal. So I might speed it up a little bit, but if I speed it up too quickly, then you won't be able to see. I won't have time to read you the journaling, I think. Now, just before I do that, you may be wondering why I turned my ruler over. For some reason, the black on the back of this ruler was leaving black marks on the page, like really subtle, but it was leaving black marks. I didn't want that. So I figure if I flip the ruler over, then it wouldn't do that. I think it's because I was dragging it. So but whatever. So yes, this is a lot of journaling. Like, I don't think I've ever done a page with this much journaling on it before. Part of the reason is I hate my handwriting, and also when I'm being filmed, like I'm doing the video, it's like I completely zone out and can't think of what to write. So whenever I do journaling on camera, it just doesn't work out great. Anyways, I'm going to be using a black felt tip pen to do the journaling. And I just realized I shut the camera off for the journaling, probably because I didn't want to freeze in front of you. So I do a little bit of the journaling and then I shut the camera off and come back and it's done. So, woo. Anyways, okay, while I'm erasing lines, I'm going to read to you the journaling. Almost a year ago, I returned from a mission trip with the African Children's Choir. From the moment I returned to Stouffville, I knew I wanted to go back to the mission field. I was searching for God's plan, but I felt stuck. For months, I had been sitting at my desk scrapbooking and making cards thinking, I wish I could do this. I wish I could be creative every day. But I also had this desire to serve the Lord. I would sit there and think, I wish there was a way I could combine my love of scrapbooking and my love for missions. But every time I thought that's crazy. I think there's no way you can scrapbook and share the Word of God. When I heard Eastridge wanted to send a team to Bolivia, something leapt within my heart. I knew I was supposed to go. So we packed up and left, offering to do whatever we could to help. One of my favorite days was Tuesday. On Tuesday, we taught the women how to make paper beads. Deborah and I helped teach the women how to make the paper beads. After a while, we sat with the ladies, and Deborah, Jenna, and I shared our testimonies. As we sat there with the women, I realized something really exciting. For months, I had been wondering how I could do arts and crafts while doing missions and ministry. As I sat there making paper beads with the women of El Jordan, I realized that's exactly what I'm doing. It dawned on me that's exactly what I've been asking God to show me. Psalm 37 verse 4 says, Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. It's so amazing to me to realize that God can use me, exactly who I am, to serve Him in amazing ways. He can use my gifts and my talents, my loves and my desires, my crazy intense desire to do scrapbooking and make cards and do art and serve Him. God has a place for me. 1 Peter 4:10 says each one should use whatever gifts he has received to serve others. So that's the journaling, and I just love the way that the journaling looks on the page. I just want to tell you about some final things here as I do the final embellishments. I added a phrase sticker that says Note to Self above the Regret Nothing banner, and I also grabbed a pink sticker, like asterisk sticker, and stuck that up there. There were these two light blue circle die cuts, and I layered those to put beside the map. I placed two gold stars, one where Bolivia is and one where I live. And then I used my white gel pen to draw a line from Bolivia to my home and added little arrows. On the blue tag, I'm going to stamp the date, which was November 9th that we flew home. And I'm also going to use this other roller date stamp that says Tell a Story, and I'm going to stamp that on the top circle. I'm just looking for it now, and I'm using Memento Tuxedo black ink, which is like my favorite black ink, to stamp the date and also the stamp Tell a Story. I have these little green enamel dots. Well, they're not really green. They're like see-through almost green, and I hate green. But that welcome home sign is like a bright green color, and I thought maybe if I use some of those enamel dots, it'll help tie that color into the page. So I placed 3 on the cluster with the 2 tags, placed 1 down by the photo, and 1 up near the Regret Nothing title. Now I'm just going through these black and white Tim Holtz phrase and word stickers, and I'm just going to layer up a whole bunch of those beneath those 2 circles on the left hand corner. So some of them say creativity takes courage, adventure waits you, be authentic, own your dreams, make today count, be open to whatever is next, and I place a whole bunch of those in that bottom corner. I'm also going to grab 2 of those stickers and I'm going to place them in the top corner where my title is currently, I thought it might be nice to bring that like those black stickers up to another place. So the stickers that I place in the top are "Good things are going to happen" and "Embrace the journey." And I thought that those looked really nice up near the title and sort of bring that element up there as well. I think I'm almost done. What do I add? Oh, I added a couple buttons. So, because I love buttons, they just help make a page look finished. So, I'm using my hot glue gun to stick those down. I stuck one on that tag cluster, and I'm going to stick one beside the photo. And that's it. I'm going to slow this down, hold up the page so you can see it, and thank you so much for joining me. Check back tomorrow for the album walkthrough, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye!